guys, welcome back to the man cave. I've done a lot of work in here, as you can see, since I first introduced this thing a couple of months back. I want to show you some of the highlights, some of the really cool features before we get into the nitty-gritty how-to stuff. So obviously the biggest change since the last video is the completed workstation. It's mostly made out of black walnut, and I say mostly because all of the show faces are black walnut, but if you look on the inside, there's definitely some non-walnut pieces, and that's because I didn't have enough material to do 100% black walnut, so I had to get kind of creative about where I put things. So all of the pieces of the cabinets that touch each other are just plywood, or the back sides have plywood, but the show faces are walnut. With the exception of this is all obviously nice walnut, and then I wasn't going to just transition to a butt joint with plywood underneath it. So below counter level is just really the worst of the worst pieces of the boards that I had that were long enough to complete the tall cabinet. So we have black walnut cabinetry with high quality Bloom hardware. All of these are undermount, soft close Bloom drawer slides, and they're so easy to install and they work so well. I can't say enough good things about them. They will actually be the sponsor of a video coming up where I go into detail about how I actually built this stuff. Like I said at the beginning, this is a overview and highlights video. So after the nice walnut cabinetry, I had to have a work surface to go on top of it. And again, material was an issue. I didn't have enough big, thick pieces of walnut on hand to do this. So I switched to using maple, and I'm actually really glad I did because I think it contrasts so well with the cabinetry in here, especially when you have some of this sapwood through the cabinets, through the drawer faces. It sort of offsets and matches all at the same time. Really, really tickled with how it came together, considering I didn't plan it that way. The countertop itself, like I said, is about 1.5 inches thick maple. I didn't have any maple long enough to make this almost 8-foot surface, so I ended up doing butt joints across the top of it, so it looks like sort of a massive butcher block style top. We'll go into detail on that in another video. The biggest challenge I had when working with this was actually pouring a countertop type epoxy as the finish for it. I had some on hand in the shop for, it might be 5 or 6 years old, and it never opened, and I thought, let's just see if it works. The first coat was garbage, so I sanded it smooth, but not off, and the second coat was garbage. So what I realized though, another happy accident, straight epoxy on top was too shiny, too clear, too perfect. So after I sanded it, and I sanded it to a very fine grit, it took that super glossiness down a few notches to a more satin look, which matches the room. And man, I can't say enough good things about how this thing is turning out. Obviously we have walnut accents, walnut trim. That's going to be another video. The little trim pieces around here look great, and they saved me from having to contour the countertop to the wall, which isn't perfect. And that was my plan originally, was to shave this and make it perfect. But the little trim transition piece looks really nice too. There's also trim underneath all the cabinets because all the cabinets are sitting on short legs. Again, there is a small chance that this room could flood in the future, and so I wanted to make sure nothing was on the ground. Even the safe is up on some legs. So if water does come in here, it's not going to get to any of the important stuff, and then there's just thin trim hiding those stubby little legs. There's also walnut trim around the base of the room. I've got walnut trim, kind of like miniature crown molding. There's probably a better term for it than that, but I don't know what it is. Even the receptacles and switch plates are all black walnut. I designed them, cut them out myself. They look awesome. So speaking of trim, one of the anchors for the entire project was that I wanted this safe to look like it was part of the cabinetry. I designed the entire room starting in this corner with this safe. Then I modeled all of the cabinetry and all of the locations for the electrical and the lights and the beams, and all of this comes back to this corner. And then it's all in, and I had to figure out, well, how do I actually trim in a safe to make it look like it's actually there? I didn't want to have to screw a bunch of anchors into the wall. I didn't want to screw into this cabinet. I thought there was a simpler way, and there is. One of my favorite tools, the magnet. So all this is 4 pieces of very, very thin walnut. And when you're careful and you pull this out, there is a series of magnets in the back of it, and then a couple of pieces of thin plywood that act as tabs that hold the corners of these together. So each one of these goes behind the other, and then they hold the front faces flush, and then the magnets stick to the metal, and you look like you have this large safe built into the cabinetry, but it's all convenient smoke and mirrors, really. Just like that, it's all back in. I have power behind here that I'm planning on adding some lights to. I don't know if it'll be a switch, a button, motion sensor, but I'm gonna have this illuminated a little bit and work as like a shadow box to display, I don't know what yet. Maybe a pheasant, maybe a globe, maybe, why am I speculating? I don't know if you can hear from the last video to this video. The echo has gone way down because we've carpeted it now. Each one of these squares is I believe, 18-inch square, and it's easy. It's a giant fabric-y sticker. You put on the ground, and you put the next one down, you put the next one down, and eventually, whole floor. That really helped cut down on the sound. It kind of makes it feel cozier in here. So I would actually like to talk about the TV for a second. The point of this room is not the TV. This is not the focal, this is not the everything, but it's nice to have when you're tinkering on something, when you're trying to get away from screaming kids and you want to just watch a movie for a little while. Whatever the case is, it's nice to have. I wanted it, but I didn't want a monster. I didn't want a projector. So I kind of went back and forth over what the right size was for a while and settled on this one. Partly because there's also going to be a cabinet that's going in here. And now this cabinet is going to be very cool. I originally planned this cabinet, and the closer I got to actually working on this, I decided I better put that off for later, because that cabinet is going to have a secret. The cabinet will have a false back to it, so you'll only be able to access the front portion of it through the cupboard doors. And then somewhere there's going to be a hidden button or switch, and a electronic RAM will actually lower a panel out of the back of the cabinet so that you can hide things back in there. My kids think I should put Nerf guns in it. Could be your secret stash of bourbon. Whatever you think is special, hide into this concealment cupboard. That's going to be a future project. My dad is actually prototyping the hardware right now, and then I'm going to build the cabinet that it goes into, and it's going to be awesome. So by the time you add a cabinet here, you have the TV. You can't have the TV be too big. Also, I am planning to trim this TV with a little bit more walnut, because why not? If we're gonna have unnecessary walnut, it should be way over the top, right? That's really about it. I can tell you more about the future projects. I've got the closet over here. This is not yet finished. So I'm going to be building a walnut door for it that's going to have a keypad entry, no knob, and then I'm going to spring load the hinges so that when you enter the correct code, the door will pop open. I think that'll be kind of cool. So once the door is in, then I can trim out the rest of the closet. Also, where the camera's sitting right now is the entry door. Have not built my super secret bookshelf Murphy door yet. That's coming up also. Once that happens, you can't see it, I'll trim that back side of the room, and then the trim should really be done. I do have to trim along the top of this when I get that cupboard in and that door in. And then finally, there's still this Milwaukee rolling tool chest that's gonna go right here, and bright red is just not gonna fit in this room, so I'm going to walnut panel my metal toolbox as well. Anyway, that is the room as it stands right now, and that is the upcoming series of videos. So, in addition to Murphy door, closet door, hidden compartment cabinet, and walnut paneled workbench, I'm gonna go into detail about all of this other stuff. So there is going to be a countertop video, a cabinet bodies video, a face frames and drawer fronts and door fronts video. There's going to be an installing hardware video. So stand by for a semi-rapid fire series of how to do something like this. I'm hoping to make them very brief, very bite-sized, but full of good information to get you from an empty room to something like this. So, what do you guys think? How am I doing on my Teddy Roosevelt room? What else do you want to know? What didn't I cover? What do you see that you want to hear about? I am so excited about this. I have not moved into it yet. I am not using this room yet because I needed to make this video. So as soon as you're seeing this, I am probably moving stuff in here to start living out of it. That makes it sound like I'm moving out of the upstairs. Well, maybe I'm moving out of the upstairs. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think, and we'll talk to you next time.